They don't call the man Big Shot Rob for nothing. Robert Horry was a man for the moment, and the moment arrived frequently over your career. His reputation for clutch shooting is so complete, in fact, I don't know if you knew this, but NBA.com has developed the Horry Scale to measure the relative worth of game-winning buzzer beaters. Micah Hart is the man who administers the Horry Scale for us on NBA.com. Explain your system if you can.
Well, basically, you showed that shot. The one against the Lakers is really the inspiration for it. But I define it as any shot that is a game winner at the buzzer. So if you hit it with 4 seconds left on the clock or even 0.4 seconds on the clock, doesn't count. It's got to be at the buzzer for the win.
And how do you go about rating a buzzer beater?
Well, it's a very scientific formula. I rated it on the game situation, the celebration.
Celebration?
Yeah, well, you
Okay.
know, it's everything included. I try to be as drill down as deep as possible. And, take a look at each of the shots and then kind of give it on the scale of 1 to 5 Horrys.
Did you know about this?
Actually, I did. We conversed one time about it. He was supposed to call me back on a couple more, but he didn't. Yes, I'm blaming you.
Well, let's take a look at some of what you've compiled from the season and get Robert his opinion on these.
Absolutely. Had a few this year.
There's Luke Ridnour against the Utah Jazz.
The teardrop. Now, Mike, is there a difference because if it's a 3 or a 2, a floater? Does that, help in the scale?
See, I gave him a little extra credit for the floater because that's a pretty tough shot.
Okay.
See,
Robert?
I took away from that because it's in the paint. That's an easy shot. Tony Parker does that every day.
Maybe. Well, Al Jefferson didn't give him too much resistance, so I didn't want to give him too much credit there. But
Even a little guy in the trees, nothing from you.
Nothing from me because you're supposed to get around a big guy and get to the paint. That's your job.
All right, so how many Horrys did it earn?
I only gave it 2 Horrys. It was a
On
tie
a scale
game.
to 5, 1
Scale
to 5.
to 5.
Okay.
1 to 5. I gave it 2. It was the tie game situation.
Right,
So
a
there's
little less pressure on.
Exactly. And, again, didn't get a whole lot of resistance from the defense on that one, so I only gave it 2.
That's a tough crowd. All right, who's up next? LaMarcus Aldridge.
LA. Oh,
This one was pretty nice, I thought.
over the 7-footer?
Over a 7-footer.
But a nice little Jordan move there with the push-off. But
Yep.
I was going to say he got a little separation that didn't get called. Now, see, that's one to me where I'm not a basketball player as much as you guys, where that looked to me like a very easy shot. But I wonder if it was as easy as he makes it look.
it was a little easy because he got a little push-off, and you were guarding a guy who can't really move his feet. So I give that a 2 also.
And what did it end up getting?
That one also got a 2. Again, tie game, not a whole lot on the line. Though it was, at the time, very had to do with the playoffs. I know Portland was fighting for the 8th spot right there, so big win for them. And
Context, very important.
Exactly, context also important. And then, of course, he got hurt a couple days later. So.
All right,
Wow.
I'm looking for the next one. It's Luol Deng this time for the Chicago Bulls. And that's a tip-in.
Oh, that's Johnny on the
Easy
spot.
shot,
That's
but
Johnny on the spot
it's a
right
game
there.
winner.
Now this one, I give him a little more credit for because, first of all, it's kind of spontaneous. It wasn't one of those, okay, they drew it up this way. And they were behind. They were down by 1 to Toronto in that situation. So I gave it 3 Horrys for the fact they were come from behind and for the sort of
He looks
spotlight.
skeptical. He looks skeptical.
No? Okay.
Negative, man.
Negative Horrys.
You can't give a tip in 3 Horrys on that. He could have half a Horry.
Half a Horry.
Half an
Horry.
Wow.
You got to be tough on these guys in the paints, man. It's half an Horry.
Listen, the scale's in your honor. You say a half, then.
Does it matter what team you're playing?
It does. It does.
Not too much pressure. We're trying to
Wow.
Good point. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Well, one thing I
Your
will
next
say.
visit to Toronto could be interesting.
Now, see, I gave it 3 because of the celebration as well. Because Luol Deng, to me, is not a guy who's really, loud and passionate.
Not real demonstrative, no.
Not normally. He got pretty
So give him
excited
a
on that
whole
one,
word,
so
yeah.
I gave him a little extra for that.
Well, he should be excited because they was beating Never mind.
Shots continue at the Raptors. All right, Kevin Love is up next. We'll see what he gets on the Horry Scale.
Ooh.
That was huge back in L.A. where he's from. Big night for him. A three-pointer.
I thought it was pretty nice. The celebration especially gives a little bit of the Maximus.
A little bit of that Kobe, a little bit of that Kobe. Come love me, come love me.
It reminded me of me in that same arena, but except I put my arms back, put your chest out. But Kevin Love, I love this guy, and he did it against his nemesis in Blake Griffin. So I would give him 5 Horrys on that
5
one.
Horrys.
Yeah.
And back in his adopted hometown in
Exactly.
L.A. You
Yep.
get him, that's a 5?
I give him a 5.
What did
because
you give him?
I gave it 3. tie game, early in the season, so maybe not quite at the stakes at that point in the year, but.
Home pressure.
You
man.
guys need to collaborate.
Also,
on these.
look how much room he had.
That's because of the play. They set a good screen.
He's a big guy coming off a screen, so the difficulty in that is a little bit greater.
Kevin, you want to weigh in on this?
I got to give it a 5 also. That's a game where him and Blake Griffin, everybody, they look at them as top power forwards in the league, so big shot by him.
Big shot by him.
And I love the first name.
I thought you were a little stingy with the Orioles there.
Apparently.
All right, we've got one more to go. Kevin Durant is up next. This is from the first week of the season. Durant against the defending world champs. Three-pointer, celebration.
Muted. Yeah, it's got to be.
Kind of got to be 5. A muted celebration.
See, now I'm just feeling embarrassed because none of these got 5s this year. Now, see,
What gets a 5?
I saved the 5s for the most tasty ones. Like
So playoffs are 5s.
Playoffs are 5s.
Okay.
Tyreek Evans last year for Sacramento, that was a 5. This one got a 4. I give him, again, early in the season, it's hard to really go that high. But one question I have for you guys when it comes to Durant, and Durant's my guy. He went to Texas. I went to Texas, so I'm a total fan of his. He always seems to sort of, in that situation, only got a second on the clock, so he doesn't really have much of a choice. He doesn't seem like he takes it to the rim, and that's the only thing I sort of dinged him for in general is that he always settles for that jumper.
You're right, Micah, but until the playoffs. In the Dallas series, he didn't settle for that three-point shot. He drove, got to that left elbow, and got the buzzer beater there. Would that be a 5?
If it were for the win, I would give that a 5.
It was.
The thing about the regular season is the playoffs is coming for a team like that. You don't always go to the basket because you got the risk of getting hurt. So shoot the jumper sometime, and that's what he did. He's shooting the jumper and preserving himself for the playoffs.
Wait, the risk of getting hurt?
Yeah, it's early in the season.
What?
Yeah. You don't want to always go to the rim. You got to pull up, baby.
I think you just lost an Ori.
You got to pull up, man. You got to pull up sometimes.
You see those Ori heads? One just disappeared under Robert's head. His own head just disappeared.
What happened to that Derrick Rose one in Milwaukee late in the game? He was dancing at the All-Star break. How did that not make it?
Now, see, that one got the lowest score. That only got 1.
Oh, my
Because, again, same thing. Go to the rim. I want to see you go to the rim. He did a step back
You can
almost
find the Horry Scale on NBA.com. Judge for yourself how many Ori heads they should get.